When people ask me which routes I recommend most for overlanding and van life, the answer is a mix, because the best route depends on your time, your rig, and your season. Today, I'm counting down 5 proven overlanding routes in the U.S. that fit both van life rigs and 4x4 builds you can actually plan for. This is not hype. This is the on-the-ground info you need to plan a real trip. By the end, you'll know which route is right for your next window of time off and exactly how to prep for it. Let's start with the Transamerica Trail. Think of the TAT as a choose-your-own-length cross-country on mostly unpaved roads. You don't have to do all of it. Most people select a region and run it in segments. Access is straightforward. You connect legal public roads across multiple states, typically starting with gentler gravel and farm lanes in the east and moving toward rougher, drier surfaces. Out west terrain is mostly graded gravel, hard-packed dirt, and occasional rutted or muddy connectors after rain. The western sections add rockier segments and water crossings depending on recent weather. A stock high-clearance vehicle on all-terrain tires can handle a lot of it if you choose segments wisely. Season timing changes by region. Spring in the east can be wet and slick. Summer is reliable but dusty. Fall brings great temps and hunting seasons, so wear high-visibility gear and know local rules. In the Rockies, you still have lingering snow on higher passes into early summer, and late-season storms can force reroutes. Navigation works best with a mix of offline maps, paper backups, and pre-built GPX tracks. Cellular service drops often, so treat comms as a safety system, not a luxury. Pack a satellite messenger or ham/GMRS with a planned fuel is generally manageable. You'll pass through towns every day or two, but never assume hours are accurate in small places. Top off whenever you can and keep an extra can if your range is under 300 kilometers. Water is easy to carry and refill at regular intervals. A simple filtration system is smart because some backcountry taps are seasonal. Camping is a mix. Public campgrounds, dispersed sites on federal land out west, and paid RV parks, or private campgrounds near towns. Know the difference between legal dispersed camping and roadside shoulder camping on private land. When in doubt, ask locally. Biggest mistakes here are speed on marbly gravel, underestimating how rain turns that nice brown road into clay, and not leaving time for slow detours around closures. Pick conservative daily distances. 200 to 300 kilometers on dirt is a full day if you're filming, scouting, or stopping for food, and you'll finish each day still liking your travel partners. If you're in a van, mind your weight on washboards and secure cabinetry. If you're in a 4x4, don't let confidence talk you past closed gates or posted signs. The TAT is a long conversation with small-town America and your own patience. Plan steadily, and it's incredibly rewarding. Now shift to the Mojave Road in California, a classic 2 to 3 day desert crossing that a lot of people run as their first real overland trip. Access is via Mojave National Preserve, and the route generally runs east-west across dry lake beds, sandy tracks, and old wagon road alignments. The surface is mostly sand, compacted desert dirt, and washboard, with a few short rocky spots and occasional ruts after monsoon storms. The key here is tire pressure and momentum, not horsepower. Air down at the trailhead, keep speed smooth, and avoid sudden stops in deep sand. The best season is late fall through early spring. Summer heat is real danger. Always carry more water than you think you need. At least 4 liters per person per day, plus a reserve, and bring shade. Permits aren't complicated for driving the road itself, but camping has rules. Use existing sites where allowed, pack out all trash, and respect fire restrictions. Fuel planning is simple if you start full and top up before you enter the preserve. There's no reliable fuel along the route. Recovery is DIY unless you're with a group. A traction board set, a real 12-volt compressor, and a shovel solve most problems you'll encounter. Comms matter. Cell service is spotty to non-existent, and a satellite messenger makes breakdowns a non-event instead of a story. People get caught out by wind on the dry lakes, deep sand when they refuse to air down, and navigational drift at night when multiple tracks look identical. Run it in daylight, scout unknown dips on foot if visibility is bad, and cache an exit plan if a storm is moving in camps are excellent. quiet, wide open, and dark sky quality nights. Just remember, this is desert. Leave it exactly as you found it. Next up is Colorado's Alpine Loop, one of the most concentrated high-alpine 4x4 experiences you can do in a day and still be in town for dinner, or stretch into a 2-day with an overnight in legal dispersed zones. The loop connects historic mining roads over Engineer Pass and Cinnamon Pass, typically linking Ouray, Silverton, and Lake City. High clearance 4x4 is strongly recommended. Long wheelbase vans make it regularly with cautious line choice, but shelf roads and tight switchbacks require attention. And after storms, some segments develop rock steps that favor low-range transfer cases. The season is short, usually late June to September depending on snowpack. Start early for traffic and weather reasons because afternoon thunderstorms are common and you don't want to be on exposed passes during lightning, or hail temperatures can swing hard even in July, so pack layers. Surface is rocky, loose in places with embedded ledge moves and occasional water crossings that are typically shallow. Later in season, tire pressure management improves comfort and traction, but keep enough pressure to protect sidewalls on sharp rock. Vehicle heat management matters at altitude. Watch coolant temps on long climbs, take breaks, and let automatic transmissions cool if they start to slip. Camping in the high basins is regulated. Check forest guidelines and use established sites below tree line when possible to minimize impact. Navigation is straightforward in clear weather, but can be confusing in fog or if you chase side spurs. Download offline maps and carry paper to confirm pass names and junctions. Recovery is limited to what you bring or to waiting for another traveler. Carrying a compact winch or a kinetic rope and rated points is smart. If you're new to shelf roads, drive your comfort, not the pace of the convoy behind you. Let faster vehicles pass at wide spots and keep your eyes where you want the tires to go. This loop packs more scenery per kilometer than almost anywhere, but it's still a mountain road. Respect weather and you'll get everything you came for. Let's head east to the Mid-Atlantic Backcountry Discovery Route, the MABDR, which runs from Virginia north through West Virginia, Maryland, and into Pennsylvania using forest roads, rural lanes, and short connectors. This is one of the best first big route experiences for vans and light overland rigs because the daily rhythm is approachable. Services are never too far, and you get real off-pavement time without committing to remote hazards. The surface is mainly graded gravel and hardpack that drains well, with mud and ruts after rain. Summer brings dust and more traffic. Spring and fall bring better temps and color, but wet spots that can surprise you. Winter travel is doable in segments, but closures and ice are a factor in some districts. Access rules vary by forest. Some gates close seasonally, so always check current notices before you roll. Camping is available in designated campgrounds and in the legal dispersed areas where the forest allows it. Because this route spends time near small towns, it's easy to resupply every day or two, but don't rely on late night hours. Arrive early if you need fuel or groceries. The common mistakes here are speed on marbly corners, overconfidence after a dry morning that turns sloppy in the afternoon, and forgetting that hunting seasons are active. Wear visibility and understand where you're allowed to camp and hike. Navigation is simple with official GPX and offline map backups. Comms are mixed. You'll have pockets of service and then none for a while. A GMRS handheld is useful for convoy spacing in the trees. If you need a route that lets you learn dirt pacing, test a new build, or shoot a lot of content without burning all your vacation time, this is a sweet spot. It's also a strong option for shoulder season trips, when the high country is snowed in. Finally, the Dalton Highway in Alaska. This is a different category. Long distances, limited services, and weather that can change your plan in an hour. The road runs from near Fairbanks to Dead Horse, shadowing the pipeline and crossing the Yukon River and Adagun Pass into the Brooks Range. Surface conditions vary from decent chip seal to long gravel stretches with embedded rock and roadwork marbles. Trucks use this road for real work. Give them space, don't weave in dust clouds, and pull over to let faster traffic by fuel planning is critical. Calculate your realistic highway plus gravel range, then give yourself margin. Carry extra fuel and treat top-offs as mandatory when available. Tires need to be fresh, load-rated, and paired with a full-size spare. 2 spares is normal up here. And real plugs and tools. Windshields take hits. A repair kit saves a day. Season is typically late spring through early fall for most travelers. In summer, you have continuous light, which is convenient but can mess with fatigue. Schedule rest even when the sky says keep going. Shoulder seasons bring snow and ice. Unless you're experienced in winter travel with proper tires, stay in the core window. Camping options are a mix of pullouts, designated areas, and limited private campgrounds. Know where you are in relation to private lease areas near Dead Horse Water is best carried. You can refill at services, but it's simpler to treat this like a self-contained run. Comms should include a satellite device. Weather is the main risk multiplier. Rain turns shoulders to soup. Wind reduces visibility, and Adigoon can ice quickly. Build a plan that accepts delays. The reward is real Arctic access with big-scale scenery and a sense of distance you can't fake. The cost is logistics and discipline. If you treat this like a long gravel expedition and not a road trip, you'll be fine. On rules and etiquette, each of these routes runs through communities and public lands that only stay open if we act like we want to be invited back. Close gates you open, yield to uphill traffic on narrow grades, keep music low in camp, and never cut new tracks around a mud hole when you can straddle or go through slowly without damage. If an obstacle will create ruts you can't repair, turn around and live to drive another day. Pack out everything. In deserts and alpine zones, even gray water needs thought. Use existing sites, don't dig new fire rings, and follow fire restrictions strictly. If you're wondering how to pick your first or next route, match time, weather, and learning goals. If you've got a week and want the classic cross-country feel in manageable bites, select a Trans-America Trail state and run it end to end. If your calendar shows 3 days and the forecast is cool and dry, the Mojave Road is an excellent skills builder in sand, navigation, and self-sufficiency. If you're in summer and can watch the forecast, the Alpine Loop is a concentrated masterclass in altitude driving, line choice, and weather calls. If you want a forgiving but satisfying dirt immersion with frequent resupply, string 2 or 3 mid-Atlantic BDR sections. And if you're ready for logistics and respect for distance, plan the Dalton with proper tires, spares, fuel math, and an honest schedule that allows weather holds. Before we wrap, here's a quick safety reality check you can record as B-roll over a gear layout. Check tire age, not just tread. Anything older than 6 years is a liability. Torque your lugs and retorque after a day on washboard. Scan your suspension for loose bolts and leaking shocks. Confirm that every person on your trip knows how to air down and air up, how to spot on an obstacle, and how to communicate with simple hand signals. Make one person responsible for weather and land closure checks every morning. Write down fuel stops and daily distance ranges on paper. Phones die and batteries lie, and commit to turning around when a condition exceeds your skills or your vehicle's build. A clean U-turn is an expert move. That's the tour. 5 routes, 5 different personalities, all proven by constant traffic and shared knowledge from the community. The road you choose should teach you something without punishing you for learning. If this helped, tap like, drop your rig setup and the route you're planning in the comments, and tell me what you want covered next. Vehicle prep checklist by route, camp locations that are actually legal, or calm setups that make group travel painless. I'll see you out there. Drive smart, recover slow, and bring it all back the way you found it.